Growing up in the city, Chicago, Damon Avenue. Jimmy always carried a star and he's gone along with that. Never thought it could happen to him, a desperate call gone wrong. Jimmy's name will live on and on and on this hero's wall. They say, hey, hey, you're glad to be the man, yeah, a living sacrifice. Chicago's finest and to watch the heroes walk. As I sit here staring at the officers' names on the wall, the Burnham Harbor breeze surrounds me as we are in the mall. Getting up, I noticed a woman placing a badge on a stone. As she turned with tears in her eyes, she said, Jimmy gave it his all. They said, hey, hey, we're proud to be the man, yeah, a living sacrifice. Chicago's finest and to watch. They'll say, hey, hey, we're proud to be the man, yeah, a living sacrifice. Chicago's finest and to watch. Who'd ever thought that they would sacrifice their lives? Admiration fills me, CPD for life.
Units in 7 and on the citywide, we have shots fired at the police.
724, shots fired. Officer down. Officer down.
Growing up in the city, Chicago, Damon Avenue. Joining all the fallen angels, looking down at the heroes' wall. They say, hey, hey, we're proud to be the man, yeah, a living sacrifice. Chicago's finest and to watch. They'll say, hey, hey, we're proud to be the man, yeah, a living sacrifice. Chicago's finest and to watch. Heroes walk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Dag Show. And I am very, very happy to be here. And I have some things to talk about today. This Jon Stewart podcast called The Problem with Jon Stewart is nauseating me. We're going to talk about it. Let's get ready here. But we got to do the intro first.
The following show contains language and situations that may be offensive to most people. The views portrayed in the following program are solely the views of the DAG and or guests of the DAG show and may offend, anger, disgust, hurt, outrage, shock, antagonize, annoy, nauseate, and occasionally disgruntle listeners. Do not use the DAG show if you're allergic to the DAG show or any ingredients of the DAG show. Please use discretion while listening to the DAG show around monkeys, feral cats, rabbis, baristas, retired city workers, persons named Tom, Olympic cyclists, your mother's ass, third shift Amazon workers, and or past members of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. If you have any problems listening to the following show, shove them. No one cares, because he's the DAG and you're not.
Hold on, I gotta tag some people! I'm the DAG! You're not the DAG! I'm the DAG! This is the DAG show! This is the DAG show!
anybody except you people.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? I'm the Dag. Thank you, Dino. Thank you, 1096 and Blockchain Coalition, Ron Thomas and Tony Engel for creating that incredible promo for the Dag Show. We love you. I have the best promo in all of fucking radio. That's the reality here. So I want to talk about some things here, and I listened today, and this is about this bullshit. Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart has a podcast and a show on Apple TV. This fucking clown, a man I respected, is completely lost his way. Now, in his podcast, they talk about, in this recent podcast he just did, was the lawsuit that Dominion voting machines filed against Fox News. Now, I can't even explain to you how many people work to put this ass clown's podcast together. I mean, he's Jon Stewart. He's got 15 people. He has more producers to do a podcast. I do this by myself. So when people want to challenge me, all this production value you see here, whether you like it or not, look, I'll put all this up. I'll just put them up all over each other. I can go crazy. This is all done by one guy. One man makes this happen. Jon Stewart has 15 people to fucking correlate and corroborate his bullshit. I'm so aggravated with this podcast, and I listened to the whole thing from beginning to end, and I was mortified at the things he was saying. Now, let's step back here. Tucker Carlson from Fox News. Listen, whether you, regardless of the news channel you like, you go to... we all have, some people like Newsmax, some people like AON, some people like CNN, some people like MSNBC, some people like CBS. I can go on and on and on, right? News channels have become this financial machine, and I want you to all focus on this regardless of your political affiliation, because this show is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about reality. It's about common sense thinking. So here's what needs to happen for America, and I'm going to state this very clearly. And Jon Stewart, I dare you to reach out to me. I dare you. We are reaching out to your entire team and your Apple show and everybody. We are reaching out to you because I would love to have you on the show because you sound like such a fucking asshole and so completely disillusioned to the reality of what's happening here in America. And I'm going to talk about this. This isn't going to be a long show, but this is the Dag Show, and I'm the fucking Dag, and he's not. So we're going to just touch on some reality that sits very plainly in the middle. In the middle here is what I'm talking about today, guys. In the middle. We all need to start thinking in the middle right now. This is critical. It's critical for our country, and I'm going to explain to you why. So Jon Stewart has this attorney on, Rennell, whatever fucking name is, whatever. Go find it. His show is called The Problem with Jon Stewart. The podcast that he recently did is Liar Liar Network on Fire, completely saying that Fox News and everything that Fox News says is a lie. That's fucking funny. Because I just mentioned 5 other networks that have been doing the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that everything Fox does is above board, and I'm not saying that everything any of the other liberal networks are doing above board. It becomes a money push. And this is where I think Jon Stewart, a man I respected for a long time. In fact, they shot a show at The Daily Show at my house covering Stuart Fisher. You can look it up. A Daily Show, Stuart Fisher, the pantomime. In my house and in my studio, they did this. This is right before Jon Stewart took control of the show. So I've always been a fan of The Daily Show until Trevor Noah took over. Trevor Noah so far fucking left. It was African bullshit. Fuck you, Trevor Noah. I'm glad you left. 7 years was 7 years too much for you on the show. Jon Stewart did a much better job. And I've always respected Jon Stewart for everything he's done on The Daily Show because he really did usually play kind of a middle line. Well, now he's got this new show, The Problem with Jon Stewart. And as of late, as of the last year, he's come out and he's gone to rallies and he's actually really stood in the middle, arguing for the fact that nobody's really telling the truth. Well, now he's got his fucking podcast, and here he is running his pie hole, completely slamming everybody on the right. Literally slamming everybody on the right. Now, I'm not a celebrity like Jon Stewart. I'm not even close to that caliber. But I try and stand in the middle and bring as much good information as I can, and I listen to everybody. In Jon Stewart's podcast here, let me say it again. Liar Liar Pants, Liar Liar Network on Fire. The case against Fox News, because Dominion Software is suing Fox News. So this case is a really, really big deal, although nobody's talking about it, not even Fox News. There's not a lot of information unless you go to CNN about this case. So here's my fucking point here. When a man like Jon Stewart with that kind of power and celebrity comes out and said Tucker Carlson should be the poster boy, if here's what Jon Stewart said verbatim: if the date rape drug had a face on it, it would be Tucker Carlson. He says it in his podcast. Okay, that is really fucked up. Okay, that is not a man who is really looking after, Jon Stewart with his celebrity could really look after the American people. He could really find a way to undivide us. But he talks about division. He brings people on who argue these points about the argument in the defamation lawsuit that Dominion is facing. It is suing Fox News for. I'm going to tell you people right now, I am skeptical of all of it. I am skeptical of the Democrats. I am skeptical of the Republicans. I am skeptical of, did I say that right? Skeptical of our federal government. I don't trust any of them. None of them. Nobody is telling full truths. And in Tucker Carlson's defense, and I know I'm a conservative, so you fucking cocksuckers are going to go ahead and challenge me on this. I get it. But all that footage should have been released to the American people. So somebody lied. Whether it's the Democrats, the Republicans, the government, somebody's fucking lying. Why is this just coming out? And why is Tucker Carlson a jerk for going ahead and sharing things that we should have seen? There are 340 million people in this country. And we all pay taxes. We fund the government. We literally fund our fucking freedom, man. I want people to start thinking about that. We talk about the First Amendment, Second Amendment, funding our freedom. We fund our freedom to the tune of $4.2 trillion a year in federal income taxes. We are funding our freedom. So when we pay those taxes, we anticipate and expect that the government is going to look after the people. It's really not hard to sit down. Imagine many of you, like myself, have all had children, right? We have kids. Some of you still have little kids. And Susie thinks and behaves differently than Johnny. And as parents, you have to sit down and you have to find some compromise in the differences of beliefs and ideologies that people start to grow up with. Our government is not doing that. They've just divided it. See, government divided government. People didn't divide government. The news media divided government. People didn't divide the news media. The teachers union divided us by making decisions for our children without consulting the fucking parents. They divided us. Those are the three goddamn things that divided us. And then you got people with lots of power going out there. When they should be sitting in the middle and questioning everything, they're still only standing. I question everything. If you think for a minute that I wake up every day and believe everything Tucker Carlson says or the Republican Party says, you're out of your mind. You're not paying attention to my fucking show. And you should be. As American citizens, you have an obligation to protect the freedoms for your neighbors. Now, whether you think your neighbors are ignorant or stupid or whatever the case may be, doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. I guarantee you this, and I'll tell you what, I've lived in this society for almost 58 years. You would never let or tolerate somebody coming and hurting the person you live next door to, would you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't do it. But we're listening to celebrities talk about politics as if they're the very politicians that are passing and allowing legislation. We as a people need to stand up and take responsibility for the fact that we let government get out of control. And now people like Jon Stewart, how defamatory is it? How horrible is it for society when he says Tucker Carlson is the face of a date rape drug? He literally fucking says that. So why is he any better or different? Because he has more celebrity power than I do? Go fuck yourself, Jon Stewart. I will fucking debate you at this table any motherfucking day of the week. You ain't got the balls to come and fucking talk to me. Because you know what I do? I'd fucking, don't even, you wouldn't win. I would make you look like a hypocritical, stupid cunt. That's the reality. See, you can say a lot of things about me. But when I fuck up and I'm wrong, I own it. And I make a lot of mistakes. I do. I've mentioned it. I've been doing this fucking show for 10 years. 2023 is my 10-year anniversary on The Dag Show on Facebook. I started doing this in 1996. I was a die-hard fucking liberal. I started a charity, a place called Home, donated a motorcycle to solve homeless people's problems where they just took my money and went out and did more crack. The problems lie within the system, and where it gets exacerbated and brought to ridiculous levels and when people like Jon Stewart go out and say the things he's doing. Don't tell me you care about America if you're not willing to listen to Americans. You know what? Mike Buckmaster is probably my biggest. This guy busts my balls all the time. But you know what? I do listen to him. We talk in Messenger. He wasn't feeling well. I reach out to him. I want to make sure he's doing okay. He's a good guy. And he is a patriot. And he is a gun owner. And he's a leftist Democrat. Let me tell you something, people. You have no idea how many leftist Democrats that you are out there hating are gun owners and believe in the Constitution and do not like things that are going on. But they don't believe in Trump. They don't believe in this. They don't believe in that. They don't believe the same things you do. But that doesn't make them bad people anymore. And I'm telling you, Democrats, that me on the conservative side, who is a former far leftist Democrat, liberal, who is now, over the last 8 years, become a very hardcore conservative with very leftist ideologies, okay? Like I supported legalizing marijuana. I got to tell you, at 58 years old now, I regret it. When motherfuckers are lining up at 8 in the morning outside the store to buy weed to fucking turn their brain into pudding, before they're at the grocery store to buy food for their kids, I got a fucking problem with that. I'm not an idiot for thinking that way. Literally, Joliet, Illinois, that place outside the fucking mall, every day when they're open, there is a line out the door for people to buy marijuana. That is not what I thought was going to happen. So guess what? I changed my mind. I changed my motherfucking mind. And you can all change your minds too. You can go to the left, you can go to the right. What I don't want to see happen in America is that we stay embattled in these ideas and this ridiculousness of where we've brought racism to the forefront again. Fuck, we were over that in 1986. For Jon Stewart, you filthy fucking dick. You're a filthy dick. You're a liar. And you're not doing anything good for America by any stretch of the imagination with this bullshit podcast and this fucking thing you put on about completely. You did the same thing Chuck Schumer did in calling. Chuck Schumer went on the floor and requested the Fox News to cancel his show and remove him. So the Democrats can have all their opinions, but the Republicans can't? The fuck is happening here, man? I mean, seriously, what is happening here? I do not support, I have conversations on a weekly basis with the conservative movement, with the Republicans, and I tell them all the time they're wrong. This isn't something I do on the show. It's something I do in private. You have no idea how many conversations I have monthly with the GOP and people involved in the GOP. And I don't like what they're doing. I think the GOP is doing it wrong. But you as American citizens, wonderful, beautiful people who wake up every day, go to work, feed your kids, and you go from being able to give them hamburgers to only making buttered fucking noodles, we got a goddamn problem here. We got a problem. And if you think the Biden administration, regardless of your political affiliation, is going well, you're missing it. They're not paying attention. You're living in a world of false promises. And quite frankly, whether you're in the Democratic Party or the Conservative Party, we're all living in a fucking pool of false promises. Because, who knows? Maybe you don't like Trump. Wait, I do. Because he's not a politician. We need a businessman to shake the fucking tree to get the oranges off it if you want to make sure you consume the vitamin C. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why Trump works. Is he a lunatic? Fuck yes, he's a lunatic. Yes. But he's smart and understands that politicians are destroying America. When you start to support people like Pelosi and Schumer and Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff all on one side, yeah, that's a little fucked up. I don't like motherfuckers kneeling at a football game. You know, John Elway told the Denver Broncos that any player who kneels during the national anthem next season will be immediately terminated from employment. We got to stand for America. I want people to look back to 9/11. When 9/11 happened, one of the most horrific things that happened in America since the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. We all came together, man. We came to fucking together. Nobody for 2 years saw black or white. Nobody for 2 years saw anything but the American flag and the patriotism and the love we shared for one another as a people. You're telling me that Trump's presidency ruined it? Come the fuck on. You can't be this fucking stupid, man. We're going to listen to guys like Jon Stewart, where you go right to his page. He's a comedian. Comedians are now doling out political advice and having lawyers. Come fucking suck my dick. This is, and my producer gets mad when I do this, but on this show I can. I can't do it on Morning Coffee and I can't do it in interviews. But on this show I can. I love you, Dino. No, suck my dick. You can't play two sides against the middle and win the battle. You're either on the side of the Germans or the side of the fucking Allies. Okay? That's it. That was, for those of you who are fucking stupid, there was a World War II that happened, and the Germans killed 11 million innocent people because they wanted to have the world their way. Adolf Hitler wanted the world his way. Are we really going to call Donald Trump Hitler? I wouldn't call even Jerry Nadler Hitler or Nancy Pelosi Hitler or Chuck Schumer Hitler. Those are extreme arguments. You can't call anybody in America Hitler. You can have these, it's not to say, I'm really also very confused with people who are clearly fascists calling conservatives fascists. You don't even know the fucking definition of fascism. So anyway, I don't want to get off track here because clearly if you follow this show on any level, you know I can get off fucking track. I'm not going to let you do that to me. I would like celebrities to stay in their fucking lane, okay? You leave these shows to guys like me. Jon Stewart, who spent all those years on Comedy Central. Hello? Comedy Central, doing a show that I loved to watch, and it was very leftist, but it was funny. Even Trevor Noah did some funny skits. The show fucking sucks now because you're throwing it. They got a different host every week, and they're all fucking liberals from Hollywood. I'm so sick of Hollywood. You know who the new Hollywood should be? Me. I should be the king, the president, CEO of Hollywood, because I'll kick all these fucktards right the fuck out. I don't give a fuck what your political affiliation is. You're here to act. You know what actors do? They pretend and lie for a living. You pretend and you lie. You're lying about who you are when you do the movie. And it's great. And I'm very entertained about it. I'm very entertained. I love movies. I love films. Shut the fuck up and do films. I don't want to hear your opinion, Alec Baldwin. I don't want to hear your opinion, Jon Stewart. See, I have eked out a living that makes $0. I don't have 15 motherfuckers producing my show. And I'm really curious as to the views. Jon Stewart, if we put it all relative, here's a big celebrity. I'd like to see if you really took the information data we get from my show, the almost 500,000 people who interact on my pages every single month, how that equates to Jon Stewart's celebrity at this point. And put it all in relative terms, kind of like when they talk about per capita, if whether or not he's better than you or me. Quite frankly, Jon Stewart's nothing anymore. Just got a name. And liberal outlets like Apple TV and Spotify will embrace him because they're like-minded. America was built on individual ideas that were not the same as the next person. Many people got together, and quite frankly, societies all over the world were. But America, let's talk about America. Many people got in a room in Pennsylvania and sat down that didn't agree and found a way to agree to make America this special place, right? So we fought the British to maintain. The British wanted this country. We fought and did this. People who had migrated here fought and decided they were going to build their own country. And then as this went on, men got in a room. Yes, men. For all you libtards who are going to be upset, I don't do him, her, or the they thing. No, men, because that's what ran the country at the time, got in a room and decided, how do we do this? Can you imagine the process of, all of these men writing down their ideas on how to build a country and talking about, each of them, they come up with an idea and they all write down their ideas and then share it, and then they have to kind of sift through this to create it. It's the greatest document ever written. It's the Declaration of Independence, and then right after the Constitution, right? Everybody in this country has rights. Everybody in this country has the right to feel and think the way they feel. That is freedom. See, when you go to other countries, you don't have that. You're actually told how you can think and feel in many other parts of the world. I want people to think and feel for themselves. I want them to love themselves and love their neighbors. and to be excited to be part of a community that grows together. What disturbs me and why I think the Tucker Carlson thing is so important and invaluable is because the federal government, the very duly elected officials that we have given the privilege to serve us as people, hid that information from us. They don't tell the whole story because Washington is almost its own nation in a sense of these crazy fucking people we elected that have absorbed power, have all this immunity, having killer health benefits. After a few years, they're tenured. They will get these forever. All the things we work hard for ourselves to provide, and we're letting them completely walk all over us. And they, if you don't think that government has influence over media and media doesn't have influence over government, you're not that smart. You're just fucking stupid, quite frankly. So we created this. And this wasn't created in this generation before. It's been going on for, 70 fucking years, right? So this is a really, really big problem we have now. So what do we do as a society who wants to be happy, continue? We don't want to lose our family members, our friendships, and our relationships over politics. It's absurd. It's absurd. I love all my Democratic friends. We might not agree on certain philosophies and ideologies that, I have Democratic friends who love social programs. It doesn't mean they're bad people because they want to look after the poor and the downtrodden. The problem is the devil's in the fucking details. And the details is what the government leaves out. They just tell a story. It's a fucking headline every goddamn day. Everything the government tells us is a headline. And none of us have the time to read the story. I'm expecting, and I'm anticipating, listen, I am going to make a difference. I get a lot of criticism that, what the fuck are you doing, Dag? Who the fuck do you think you are? Let me tell you something. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make a difference because some of you are going to listen to me. And some of you I'm going to motivate to do the right thing and be a better person. Take some time out of your day, your week, your fishing, your hunting, camping, trip, whatever the fuck it is you do. And we're going to make a difference. Whether you're on the left or the right, I don't care. You're still my friend. You're still an American, and I care about you. I love you with all of my heart, but I'm fed up. We, the American people, are fed up. I think all of us are fed up. And the sooner we get to that place and the quicker we look at each other, give each other a hug and say, we got to get through this. We cannot allow government to completely dictate to our lives. We cannot allow media to completely scramble our brains with bullshit and lies. And we come together, the better this country's going to be. This can be a better America than it's ever fucking been. If we just do that. If the American people get together, settle our differences, find the balance, make our compromises, and then we go to this government, we tell them we're tired of your bullshit. Stand up, people, man. Quit being fucking weak pussies. Fuck you. You know what? Moms, start staying home, taking care of your kids. Tell your husband, you know what? If he's a man, he's got a dick. Yeah, fucking take a second job, motherfucker. Do what you got to do. You take care of this family because I'm going to take care of it internally. You take care of it externally. That's it. Stop everybody going to goddamn work. Everybody in the house leaving the kids alone. Oh, I could go on and on about this because the educational system has hijacked our children. They have hijacked our children, and they will continue to hijack our children. The problem really begins, okay, in how much power we've given to the government. It filters down to the lowest common denominator of society that we ignore, which is education. And then they indoctrinate our children. And start telling them things that they shouldn't be being told, like, books about a boy sucking another boy's dick. This is ridiculous that we've gotten to this place. We're so distracted with all this nonsense. We're not being good to one another. We are so delusional and lost in the politics that we don't know what to do. I get it. Well, you need to come to a Dag Show event. Let's do this together. The Dag Show is not only changing rock and roll in Chicago, But hopefully, I'm praying, man, we get together as a people and we fix this. We make decisions not based on the bullshit, based on the results. What are the results going to be? I don't give a fuck who runs this country as long as you provide results that benefit the American people. Pee Wee Herman can be president if he gets gas prices at $2 a gallon and keeps us energy independent. We have wars going on all over the world now. We didn't have 2.5 years ago. I want Pee Wee Herman and who's a sock puppet? Bring Pee Wee Herman and a sock puppet to the Oval Office and just get shit done, and I'm cool with it. You're not going to. Here's the thing, guys. Everybody gets so emotionally connected to a president. And the reason, Jon Stewart, let me, I got to go back. I know I'm kind of running all over the map here. The reason people are questioning the election, Jon Stewart, you stupid fucking dolt, is because Joe Biden didn't campaign. And when he did, 30 people showed up while Donald Trump was bringing 50,000 people to every event he did. Nobody believes that a guy who didn't campaign could possibly win legitimately. It doesn't make sense. Let me attribute this, Jon Stewart, you fucktard, to rock and roll. A band brings in 10 people and somehow at the door they made $2,000 at $10 a head, but the band who brought in 500 people at $10 a head made $200. That's what happened in the election. For those of you in rock and roll, it's a little rock and roll analogy that maybe you can kind of formulate and put together. But Jon Stewart, go fuck yourself. If you ever want to fucking talk to a real man instead of all these clowns that you got on your show, you come on the Dag Show. We are sending this off to you. The invitation is wide open. Wide open. Because I will fucking destroy you at this table with your bullshit and your lies. You're full of crap, and your podcast is a shameful, shameful expression of reality and truth. I'm disgusted. As a man who has been a fan of yours and followed you and supported you, fuck you. You're a disgrace. Come on my show, you fucking weak stick, and come right here and sit next to me. You'll never do it because you're just going to look at me and go, oh, I'm not going to go to that. Nobody. Just wait, John. 2023 is my year. You don't have a year anymore. Anyway. I'm the Dag, and you're not. Let's just remember that. I am fucking special. Because I stand here. Somebody sent me a message the other day. Goes, who do I think I am? I'm a guy who spent 10 years, the last 10 years of my life, devoted to this country, to this Constitution, to music, to rock and roll. I've spent 42 years now, 41, 42 years dedicated to the music industry in all states, but primarily Chicago because that's where I'm from. I am committed to saving this country. That's who the fuck I am. So if you want to send me a message and ask me who the fuck you think I am, I just told you. I'm the Dag, and you're not. Unless you're willing to come on this show, Democrats never will. I've had 2 in the last 10 years who came on here, and they both melted down and hung up. Unless you're willing to come here and talk to me civilly like a man and also bring some real information, real dialogue, I'll never throw you out of the house unless you act like a jerk. But you gotta come bring some game. Bring some information, not rhetoric. You know, the problem is we're stuck in this whole media thing. And I don't trust any of the, honestly, I don't trust Fox News any more than I trust CNN. Maybe a little bit more. They talk more in the language and talk about stories that CNN ignores. That's one of the reasons I listen to Fox News. It's because MSNBC, CNBC, and CNN or only pick certain stories. So I don't think anybody should be busting on Tucker Carlson because he managed to get the footage that we all should have seen. The American taxpayers pay for that fucking tape, for that recording. Every day, every minute that tapes run in Washington, we pay for that. We should have the right to see all of it. Period. Listen, I got to go. I'm hungry. I'm going to go make something to eat. And I look forward to seeing you guys here more often. I need a few of you. I'm going to ask, just a few of you, to take the show and share it and tag 5-10 friends. That's it. Every time I do a show here, just share it with 10 people. Oh, fuck it. What are you afraid of? Don't claim to be a patriot and not be willing to fight the fight. You don't have to take responsibility for the words I say. And if you're not willing to support an idea that we're in agreement on, then maybe you're not a patriot. Just saying. Anyway, I love you all. Be good to one another. Go to thedagshow.com. You'll see these videos. They're getting uploaded every day. New content being added weekly. We're very excited about a lot of great rock and roll stuff coming up. We have the interview with Mike Dermott on the 22nd of this month. And then the big show with 1096 opening for Seventh Heaven at Tailgaters in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Make sure you're there for that. Dag and Die will be there. Come meet us. Say hello. Get an autograph. Take a picture. Buy me a drink. Whatever you want to do. And then April 1st with Blockchain Coalition at Tailgaters again. And that is Electro Retro opening, and as well as Kevin Lee and the Kings. And I don't think anybody sees it as any one of those gigs as opening gigs. It's 3 fun bands, great bands. Two bands, really doing the what do you call it? The intro, the preface to an incredible Chicago band. 2 men from Valeside, one of Chicago's greatest rock bands. Now have Blockchain Coalition. Ron Thomas and Tony Engel put this all together with some of the greatest, most stellar musicians in all of Chicago. Doug Schoenbeck being one of them. Recording on their album. This is their big record release party. And Electro Retro and Kevin Lee and the Kings are going to be there supporting this. I'm really excited about it. So we'll be at that event too. So we will be out on the 25th and the 1st of April. And April 1st is, no, it's not an April Fool's joke. We will be at Tailgaters supporting these wonderful acts and great opportunities. I'm all about the original music and tribute bands. Fuck off. Don't care about you. Don't ask for an interview. If you're a tribute band, you don't matter. I'm changing this. This is my music scene now. You don't know it yet. And that's awfully arrogant for me to say, but just watch. I got to get out of here. I need a sandwich. I'm starving. Love you all. Peace. And be good to one another. I'm the Dag, and I'm out of here.